Hello students, welcome back to your own channel VA NEET Academy. So yesterday we have seen in detail the structure of nucleus, and today's class will be on the structure of chromosome, their types and their importance, their function, etc. So let's begin our class. Yes students, so let us start our today's class on chromosome, the carrier of hereditary information. So as we always start our class with definition. So we will see what is the definition, how will you define a chromosome as. Okay. So chromosomes are, these chromosomes are thread like, okay, they are thread like structure. They are thread like structure present in the nucleus. Where is it present? In the nucleus. Okay. So what does it do? That carry the genes, genes, that carry the genes and in turn hereditary information. Clear? So this is how you will define the chromosome as. Chromosomes are thread like structure present in the nucleus that carry genes and hereditary information. So let us move on to the next title, which is discovery of chromosome. Okay, so who discovered the chromosome? So the chromosome was discovered by a scientist called as Walter Fleming. Walter Fleming. So he was the person who first observed the chromosome, and he observed it during cell division. So when he was watching the division of cell under a microscope, he saw these thread like structure, and that is what he called it as chromosome. I mean, he was not the person who coined, but Walter Fleming was the person who discovered chromosomes. Okay. So we will see the other scientist, who is Wilhelm Walder. Wilhelm Walder, W-I-L-H-E-L-M, Wilhelm Walder, W-A-L-D-E-Y-E-R. He is the person who coined the term chromosome. So how did he coined? So he saw, why after dyeing the cell, he saw something called a very colored, dense colored substance in the middle of the cell. So all of us know chroma means color, okay, and soma means body. Okay, so putting this together, it is a colored body. Okay, so this two together is a colored body after staining with a dye. So it strongly stains with the dye. Okay, so this is how he coined the term chromosome for that genetic material which is present inside the nucleus. Hope it's clear, students. Okay, so now let us see what actually are chromosomes. What are chromosomes? So according to our definition, they are the thread like structure present in the nucleus, right? Now that's fine according to the definition. But when you see inside the nucleus, you find this DNA, isn't it? Now this DNA, they combine with a protein to form chromatids. Okay. Now these chromatids condense or else shrink during cell division. So this is what we call it as chromosome. Now because it shrinks very closely, and this is why it is able to take up the stain, very strong stains. Okay. So hope it's clear. Why is it, what is a chromosome, what is a chromatid, what is a DNA? You should not get confused with all these three. DNA, when combined with protein, you name it as chromatids, and these chromatids are thread like structure present in your nucleus. Now during cell division, this chromatins, they further shrink to form the chromosome. Hope you have seen my previous video and remember the structure, the spring, and the opened spring. Okay. So, the opened spring is this chromatid and the shrinked one is the chromosome. If you have not, please do go back and check the class on nucleus. Okay. Right. So, we will see next the structure of chromosome. Structure of chromosome. Structure of chromosome. So, chromosome has two components. Okay. So, one is the chromatids. Okay. So, chromatids are nothing but two identical halves of a chromosome. HALVES, plural HALVES. Two identical halves of the chromatids, that is what we call it as chromatids. Okay. So, apart from chromatids, we also see centromere. Centromere. Now, this is the region joining the chromosome. Sorry, the chromatids. Region joining the chromatids is a centromere. Okay. The third component you can see in a chromosome is a telomeres. Telomere. Telomere is what? It is nothing but the ends of chromosome. The ends of chromosome is called as telomere. Okay. So, hope it is clear the definition, the structure of chromosome. It has three components: chromatids, which is the identical arms in a chromosome; centromere is the middle region which joins the chromatids, and then telomere. Okay. So, if you try and draw the diagram of a chromosome, it has two chromatids. Okay. Two identical chromatids like this, as we have seen. These are the two identical chromatids. This is the joining portion of the two chromatids. Okay. So, this is another identical portion of a chromatid. Okay. So, this is how you can draw the diagram of a chromosome. Okay. So, inside this you have the chromatins being present or shrinked inside, and this is the thread like structure which is the DNA along with the proteins. Okay. So, this is the structure of a the chromosome. Okay. So, now let us try and label now these two arms, this one, this one, this one and this one. These are called chromatids. Chromatids. Okay. The middle junction, the joining region is called centromere. You do not have to mug up things. Center, centromere, and the end one is called telomere. The end of a chromosome is called telomere. Hope it is clear, class. Okay. So, this is how you can draw the structure of a simple chromosome for your understanding. Okay. So, next we will move on to our next topic, which is the function of chromosomes. Okay. We will see the function of chromosomes. Function of chromosomes. Now, because chromosome contains the DNA, the hereditary particle, its major function is to carry genes. To carry genes. And now, what are genes here? Genes are nothing but the in a DNA, the portion which actually exhibit its character, which is responsible for the exhibition of a character or trait, is called as a gene. So, whole of the DNA is not functional. The DNA inside them has gene which is functional. For example, your eye color is blue. So, this eye color blue is being dictated by the portion called genes in your DNA. Do not get much confused, students. It is very simple. Genes are something which can exhibit the character, which can portray the character of a person, okay, of any living being, right. So, second function is transfer of genetic, or else you can say transfer of hereditary information. Okay, hereditary information, hereditary characters from one generation to another. So, it passes on the traits from one generation to another. How does it do that? It passes the trait from the parents to the offspring, isn't it? For example, the blood group type, you might be resembling your either one parent's blood group, isn't it? You might be resembling the hair color of your parents, the hair texture of the parents. So, these are all the traits which are being dictated by genes. Clear, students? Okay. So, this is another function. Third function is control all the cellular activities. Control cell activities. Now, how does it do that? Because the cell activities are controlled by protein, and this protein are also being dictated by the genes. So, genes, when they activate, they produce protein, and protein in turn controls the activities, cell activities. Okay. So, next last function is cell division. So, it has a role in cell division. Chromosome has a role in cell division. So, what is the role in cell division? It ensures, okay, equal distribution. It ensures equal distribution of DNA. Okay. So, it ensures equal distribution of DNA to the trait, to the offspring. So, the mother's chromosome as well as the father's chromosome has to be equally distributed to the next generation. So, this is being done by the chromosome. Okay. So, next we will see chromosome number. Chromosome number. Okay. So, all of you, do you know what are the number of chromosomes in human? How many humans have how many chromosomes? We all have 46 chromosomes. Okay. Now, instead of 46, we can also represent them in pairs. So, you can always say 23 pairs of chromosomes. Okay. So, of this 23 pairs, 22 are autonomous. Autonomous means they are not the sexual chromosome. That means they do not dictate the sex of the cell of the person. Okay. And one pair is a sex chromosome. So, which sex chromosome? So, which decides what is the sex of a person. So, of the 23 pairs, 22 are autonomous, that is they are not responsible for the to decide the sex of a person. One is the sex chromosome. Okay. So, male have X and Y chromosome, female have X and X chromosome. Now, this is what decides the gender of a person. Okay. And that is what we call it as a sex chromosome. Clear, students? Okay. So, a neat fact for you all, human gametes contains dash number of chromosome. If the question is like this, what will you say? It has 23 pairs of chromosome. Human gametes have 23 pairs of chromosome. So, these 22 will be dictating the body trait and one will be dictating the sex of the offspring. Hope it is clear. Okay. So, now we will move on to the next topic, which is the types of chromosome. Okay. Types of chromosome. Now, this type of chromosome based on centromere position. Okay. So, the types is divided based on the centromere position. So, you have 4 types of chromosome. Okay. So, first one is called as metacentric, very easy, metacentric, where the centromere is in the middle. Okay, centromere in the middle, then you call it as metacentric. Okay, now for example, if I draw, this is the two chromatids and this is the centromere. So centromere is in the middle. So this is the other pair of chromatids where it is equal. Okay, so second type is submetacentric. So name itself tells you what type of chromosome is this. Submetacentric is slightly off center. Okay, so what is slightly off center? The centromere. The centromere is slightly off center. Okay, so giving you the structure kind of like this, okay. So one short chromatid and the other one is a little bit longer chromatid. Now this forms a V-shaped chromosomes. The metacentric forms the V shapes, the submetacentrics forms the L-shaped chromosomes. Okay, they form the L-shaped, right. The third one is called acrocentric. Acrocentric. So this is almost near one end. So the centromere is almost present near one end. So if I draw the centromere here, so almost near one end of the chromatid this is present. Okay, the one arm is very large and the second arm is slightly shorter. The one arm is shorter, the other arm is very large. Okay, giving you a kind of a J-shaped structure. Okay, L-shaped, one is longer, the second one is slightly shorter. Here the second one is very much longer and the second one is very short. Acrocentric, should know the difference. Okay, and fourth one, the last type is called as telocentric. Telocentric chromosome. Telocentric, where the centromere is present at extreme end, giving you a structure like this. The chromatids, they do not form arms. So it's a single eye kind of a structure and the centromere is present here. Okay, so if it was present here, it will be forming the two arms. Getting it, students? If the centromere was here, you will get the two arms of the chromatids, but because it is present at one extreme end, you do not get any arms of the chromatids. So you can say I-shaped chromosomes. Clear, students? Metacentric at the center, V-shaped, submeta off center, L-shaped, acrocentric near the end, J-shaped, and telocentric at the extreme end forming the I-shape. Okay, so easy way, a trick to remember: metacentric, submetacentric, acrocentric, telocentric. MSAT is equal to V, L, J and I. MSAT is equal to VLJI, just to remember, the trick to remember. We will see the neat facts about this. Okay, so telocentric chromosomes are not found in humans. So these are completely absent in humans. Okay, so hope the class was clear, students. Any doubts, do comment me so that I can clarify your doubts. Yes, students, so hope the class was clear, and if you have any doubts regarding it, please do comment me so that I can clarify all your doubts. And also do check out our shorts on the NEET news updates. almost daily I'll try to update, and I mean only if there is any update to be given to the students. So do share, like, and do not forget to subscribe our channel and hit the bell icon so that you get the notification immediately when I upload any video regarding the classes. Okay, thank you students, and take care of yourself, all of you. Thank you.